of these methods are going to work better than others. You will find that there maybe is a better method out there than this. This is strictly a trial and error. So now we've got the legs done for the most part. I'm not quite 100% done, but I want to move on and show you how to just do distress without actually putting a hole in it. So I'm going to show you how to do this pocket. I did start on it, but I didn't finish it because I wanted to show how to do this in the video. Again, as I said at the beginning, I don't like to put holes in my pockets because I know I'll need to be able to carry things. So putting a hole in my pocket is really not going to help me. So what I'll do is I will just distress the edging. You would be surprised how much distressing the edge, the hem on it, the nicely sewn edged hem, will make it look 1,000 times more distressed than what it actually is. So what you do is you turn the hem, but now don't get the actual inner lining. You want to avoid that as much as possible, because if you snag that, you might as well just put a hole in the pocket. So staying as close to the outside as possible, you're going to take your knife and just run it against the grain on the outside. You can go either direction for this, doesn't matter. It's going to work either way. Now, if you want to take it a step further, you can actually do the hem going around the actual top of the pant. I happen to wear a belt to just keep my pants up, to be honest, because when you're running and everything, it helps to keep your pants up. So I don't really worry too much about that because nobody's really going to see it either. Especially with the costume the top of the costume covering it. So, like I said, for the pocket, for the hems, take the knife and just go at the hem, staying as far away as possible to the inner lining as you can. Then, when you're satisfied with the way that looks, if you like it just the way it is, leave it like that. If not, if you'd like to add a little bit more to it, take your wire brush and just brush over what you just distressed with the knife. Now, I will tell you one thing. When you go over this with the brush, it is going to make it look soft. To better describe that, when you first go over it with the knife, it's going to look very rough. It is going to look like you just cut it. It's just going to be a lot of random strings everywhere. It's not going to be very worn in looking, whereas the brush is going to make it look like those strings have been hanging out for a while. They've gotten some wear. So you're going to probably want to do that. And it's also going to distress, it's also going to distress around the pocket where you didn't hit the knife too, without making a hole. So that's always a plus. So I already did the other side, but I didn't take the brush to it. Just to show you what the other brush will do. It does the same thing. Always making sure to keep those brushes clean so that they do as effective as a job as they can. And then we've got distressed pockets, and that's all I'll do to those. That's all I'll have to do. Until I decide to add blood and grind to it, I won't need to do anything more to those. So those are done for the moment. So then, just going back down to the bottom, and just keep brushing and adding sandpaper and distressing until you are perfectly happy with how it is looking. And then all you have to do is just, my favorite thing, the way I do it, is I will actually throw fake blood on this, and my favorite way to do this is I get the bottles of fake blood, and I don't peel the actual safety thing off of it. I poke holes in it, and then I will squeeze it. I'll hang it up outside on a regular paint hanger off of a hook out of the tree, and or wherever it suits you. I just happen to have a nice open space in the tree. And I will actually squirt it, wait for it to dry, then go back over it with red paint. Then, when that's done, I will actually take permablood and go especially around the holes, because if you think about it, that's where the most rot has happened. So I will go and take permablood and put permablood around the holes and really make it look sharp. It's very simple, it's very effective. There's even the added effect that if you want to add dirt to it, you can actually take dirt and rub dirt on it while it is still wet with the fake blood, and then add everything else to it later and it'll stay on there. You can also take dirt and add it into the permablood. Mix it in, put it in a little cup, mix it in, and then paint it on. And then you've got the dirt. I happen to work in a kind of a dusty haunt, in that it's by a horse stables, and it's just kind of dusty that way. Plus the parking lot's very dusty, so I get dust on it on my costume naturally. So I don't really have to worry too much about putting dirt and everything in it. I have been known, when my costume looks too clean, to actually go out in my costume the night of the haunt and roll in the dirt. And it stays on there. So there are just little things that you can do to help make your costume look better. And like I said, if you are a Q-line actor, having the most amount of detail in your costume is the biggest thing you could possibly do. There are two things people will remember you for: your character in and of itself, and the costume. If your costume is a store-bought costume, they're not going to remember that, because everybody and their mother probably has it. But if you've taken the extra mile and went and made your costume, distressed it, went to all the trouble of putting all your own detail into it, they're going to remember that, because you're going to be unique in your character and in your acting, and you're going to be unique in that your costume is going to be something that they've never seen before. So that is actually all I have. It is a very short, very simple tutorial, and like I said, I am not done with this. This is just the basics on how to do this. This will get added blood, gore, dirt, grime, but I wanted to give everybody just a very short tutorial on how I did this. So I hope that this has helped, and I hope that you guys are able to come up with some very intriguing and interesting costumes and distressing ideas from this.